Now, would you say that you're living your dream? Do you think you've accomplished everything that you've dreamed, or do you think it's bigger than you actually imagined?
Way bigger than I ever could have hoped for.
Yeah.
I was born in Kirkland Lake, and we lived in Elliott Lake, Ontario for a while, and to imagine the good fortune that I've had in the ensuing years, I never could. My dad wanted me to go into medicine, become a doctor. I didn't have the stomach for that. I kind of wimped out, but that was always the kind of fallback, fail-safe position. Mm-hmm. And I decided to take a year off after college to see if I could just get anything going, accomplish something.
Right.
Look like I could fashion a career out of my interest in music and writing and comedy and acting. And so to have gotten the breaks that I've gotten, and to have worked hard enough to take advantage of those has been far beyond my wildest dreams, and the comfort and opportunity it's given me and my children, and being able to share that with my family over the years, I'm a lucky guy.
Mm-hmm. And Robin is doing amazing with his music. I saw him on Oprah and a couple of late night shows.
Robin's quite wonderful. Robin is the reason that I kind of quit writing music. He got so good, I became intimidated. I won't go to him now and say, "What about this chord change?" Because no, I like to say that Robin's kind of talent skipped a generation.
No, but I mean, you've always had a lot of music in your life and been involved with all those theme songs, and you could even tell from the show, Growing Pains, that you were really into it. That was a passion of yours.
I think every generation has to improve on the last, and in an evolutionary sense, my grandmother played piano for the silent movies up in Kirkland Lake.
Wow.
My mom was somewhat of an entertainer as a tap dancer. My dad was a big shot at the University of Western Ontario, hosting shows and being in some of the reviews and skits, and then I picked it up from there and made a decent career for myself. And but as a musician, I knew 6 chords, and Robin is truly an artist. Robin has raised the family brand beyond what it's ever been. We're terribly proud of him, and his career is exciting for all of us.
Mm-hmm. Now, Growing Pains, I noticed some pictures on the internet when you had a reunion, I guess when you were doing the movies, the Growing Pains movies, reunions and that type of thing. Do you keep in touch with all the cast members? Or?
Never liked them, never cared for them, don't care to see them ever again. No, the truth was, I didn't realize we all hated each other till I saw the E! Entertainment movie, where they try to make it all very dramatic. And yes, we do gather for birthday parties and special occasions. I still play a little golf with Joanna once in a while, and Tracy's father is my agent, and Kirk's kids come over every once in a while. He's got 6 of them now, and they're the same age as my guy Carter, so we'll have a couple of reunions this summer. Jeremy has become a chef and threatened to come and cook at our place. We haven't done that yet, but I think that's coming this summer at some point. So yeah, we're all pretty close, and we shared a wonderful ride together.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Now, would you say that was one of your fondest times of your career, the Growing Pains series?
It was. I've had a few of them. That was definitely because of the success and the magnitude of it. It was. I loved my talk show days in Canada, shooting that in Vancouver. I got to work with my brother, who has since gone on to become the producer of America's Funniest Home Videos, and has had a wonderful career doing that. But he and I were inseparable back then, and working on that show with no budget and trying to make something out of nothing, and it was a great challenge to do that every day, and the Canadian audiences could not have been better or warmer, and that was like a family experience. And then before that, on some of the shows that I wrote or produced, there was another kind of reward altogether on shows like Fernwood Tonight, because they were very creative. It was a wonderful challenge that way. Creatively, we knew we were doing something special. I had a talk show Thick of the Night in the States that was a dog, and there was that was the flip side emotionally of all of the good times and successes. It was a struggle. It did badly against Johnny Carson. I can never dismiss it totally because it led me to growing pains, but certainly had my share of downs to go with the ups.
But you went from, just super successful doing daytime in Canada. But I mean, who would do well against Johnny Carson, really? I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
that's a really tough spot.
A lot of people learned
it's
from
not you.
one of the biggest mistakes we made was that we did an hour-and-a-half show. We did 90 minutes. They said it couldn't be done, and I was the guy they chose to prove it. It wasn't my idea to do 90 minutes, and nobody's tried it since.
Yeah.
Leno and Letterman are both at 60 minutes now, but you like to think that the other people you're involved with, your advisors and producers and packagers and distributors of the show, know what they're doing, and not all of them do. And I think we got some bad advice managerially in those times. But I look at tapes of those shows once in a while and think, it stunk. So again, I think the audiences knew what they were talking about. We didn't deserve to carry on.
But you also were instrumental in launching the careers of Alex Trebek, right? Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I had a good eye for talent. I think I've spotted people along the way who I think would remember me fondly as somebody who was instrumental in moving the ball forward for them. Renee Simard was one of them.
Yeah, that's
I think
in you.
I helped open the television career that Anne Murray had after she had so many wonderful recordings. Alex Trebek was a guy who I plucked out of the CBC, and he was a buddy of mine. I said, Alex, would you be interested in doing this game show in the States? And, in fact, his first run-through for that show ever happened in my dad's living room. Because I called Alex and I said, I got to show you this new game show, and if you like it, they want you to audition at Rockefeller Center in New York in a few days.
Right.
So my brother and sister were 12 and 13 or so at the time, and they rounded up a few of their buddies from school here in Brampton and sat around, and we played it as a parlor game the way you'd play charades. I taught him the game. He went to New York, and the rest is history.
Wow. And Arsenio Hall as well.
Arsenio, I was the first guy to ever have a black co-host on a national television talk show. Discovered a few other people who were not nationally known that we did bring along on Thick of the Night, including Richard Belzer and Gilbert Gottfried. So, I found some good people. Robin Williams back in the days of Fernwood Tonight. So I've always been proud of that.
It's amazing.
Sometimes I did a better job for them than I did for me.